Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary. Sorry, not summary. Bakhmut Front update. Quick update on the Bakhmut Front, and at the Bakhmut Front, the Russian forces have made some progress. Particularly, it actually is in the southwest of the city, in this area here. This is the area that the Russians had made some progress. So the Russian forces have pushed and captured territory along the Tchaikovsky Street, and they also close up this area here to reduce the amount of the Ukrainian positions on the eastern part of the Tchaikovsky Street. This is the only part of the city that is still on the eastern part of Tchaikovsky Street. And if I zoom in, you'll probably see it clearer. It's basically the Ukrainians are only holding this area here right now. The Russian forces have closed up all this area here, and particularly important is the control of this area here. The control of this area means this entire road is even for the Ukrainians to actually reinforce this area here and resupply the forces in this position will be very difficult because they lost this road. This road is very important, so they will have to go through the smaller roads and or the dirt path around. If they come here, they have to come to this this logistic hub, I guess, and then they can do their reinforcement. If not, there is no way to reinforce these forces here right now because the Russians are here and probably it's also pushing out in this way, most likely. And so this, and then over at the central area around the Citadel area, the Ukrainian mapping, the pro-Ukrainian source Deep State UA has considered that the Russian mapping is more correct, that the front line for them is now like this, basically surrounds the Citadel area. Surya Maps reported that the Russian forces have some kind of a small bridgehead or small push into the Citadel area from the Levanov-Skorho Street, and also that they also reflected the salient towards the Peremoha Cinema, which is actually here. This is the Peremoha Cinema. So the Russian forces is slowly penetrating through. However, information coming out from Prigozhin from his press service Telegram channel says that answering questions from publications, saying that the Wagner forces still have not received the ammunition promised to the Wagner forces, which means that this offensive that the Wagner forces is making is going to be at huge cost if he's being honest, and that they are now attacking with severely lesser ammunition that they would prefer. Over at the northern part of this front line within the Bakhmut city, the fighting is currently being still reported around the Olympic School region. In particularly, the Ryba reported that the Russian forces have captured the post office, which is here, and so they have captured here, and they are now continue to spread out. Really depend on which version of the story or the frontline reports that you prefer. They are still currently fighting within this area here, and there is some talk about fighting through this area based on other sources, with Peremohi Street, the Irina Levchenko Street, the Tobuhina Street, all this. So it could be also true. It could be the front line could actually be like this. That is possible as well. The front line could be like this, and that will actually make everything seems correct. So anyway, that's all for the updates within the Bakhmut city. Within the Bakhmut city itself, on the outside, the Russian forces are pushing along the highway. Somehow, somewhere, there is this update about the Russians pushing this area again, capturing this area, which we have already announced long time ago, reported that is captured. So I have no idea when the Ukrainians actually recaptured this area here, and then now the Russians recaptured again. Yeah, so a bit weird. There is also fighting reported in the area of Kromove, in the area of Kromove. So the current push is here. So moving on, in the southern side, so there's information reported by War Gonzo about the Russians attacking Ivanivske and the counter attack towards Stupovsky. Yeah, take it with a pinch of salt, because this seems to remind me of the Ukrainian reports. See, it's the Ukrainian report. So but just take note that there is reported by War Gonzo, and the Ukrainian counter attack or offensive action within the Bakhmut Front in this area is also being reported by Prigozhin. Prigozhin say that this is a sign. This is actually exactly what he's been talking about the lack of ammunition, a lack of support from the Russian Defense Ministry that allows the Ukrainian now to start to break through. Because one of the publication asked, has the Ukrainian offensive started, or why is it not started? And then he basically bluntly replied, as per what I tell you on DPA, that the Ukrainian offensive has already started. So in his words, he said that it's in full swing, and this attack here in the southern flank is exactly the Ukrainian offensive happening, and this is creating a lot of problems for the Russian forces, particularly the Wagner forces. And according to Prigozhin, he said that in this area here, this is the Wagner forces is the only forces that is fighting in this area here. And we have information coming from Remlin 21, the pro-Russian source, saying that the Wagner forces actually had to bring forces from Bakhmut towards this western part of Klishchiivka to reinforce the line. And because of the Ukrainian offensive that is currently happening here, maybe I draw too many arrows. It makes it sound like there's a lot of force. So I draw more relevant arrows. No, so the Ukrainians attack in this area here, and the Russian forces reinforce the western part of Klishchiivka, and are currently fighting is still ongoing, mostly within the canal area. And this redeployment of force actually caused the Wagner forces to have lesser troops within Bakhmut city itself. According to this pro-Russian source, it said that this actually hampers the Russian offensive within the Bakhmut city. So this the front line is currently still along the canal, with a small part that the Ukrainians managed to cross, but it's still not significant, with the Wagner forces still mainly holding the line around this area here. There is a lot of rumors about there was supposedly another force that was actually here, and I cannot verify it. They sound like 76 battalion or something, I'm not sure. And there's another story saying that there's only 20 soldiers that was holding this front, and then they run away. There is so a lot of different stories. And there's also stories about it was actually another private military contractor, a different company that was holding this line, that was actually in contradiction. They are currently have some infighting with Wagner. No idea what is the truth. I think all of them is just misinformation. So generally speaking, there is a defense line here. Most likely story is that there's a defense line here, just like any other part of the front line. But the Ukrainian forces gathered such a massive forces at this area and managed to punch through. The Zelensky say that it's 2 kilometers deep. The success, and they celebrated it on the Ukrainian official Telegram channels. And however, this is nothing, because there's still a lot more to do before the Ukrainian actually can call some kind of major success in the Bakhmut front. So Prigozhin says that if the Russian Defense Ministry still do not come and secure the flanks, do their part, send in the ammunition, then all this work will be wasted within Bakhmut. Then the Ukrainian forces is likely to break through in a big way. So anyway, this is the quick update, which is not so quick for the Bakhmut front, and I'll see you in the next update.